All right, welcome to the webinar, you guys. I had my sunglasses on, but these are my sunglasses to see far away. So I'm really having a hard time. I can't read any of the chat over here. So we're not keeping them on. This is going to be a quick webinar on some summer content tips for social media. So thanks everybody in the chat for jumping in and letting me know where you're joining us from. We got New York, we got Texas, we got Michigan, we got Pennsylvania, we got Minnesota, more Kentucky and New York, South Florida, Missouri. Oh my gosh, I know that we've got some from up in Canada as well. We got Washington. And so I just wanted to have this little pop-up webinar because summer is a different beast a little bit with social media. And I want to make it simple. And so when you get done with this webinar, you are going to have some great clarity, some ideas, and I think you're going to get peace of mind through the week of August 22nd. Who would like to have some peace through August 22nd? I sure in the heck would. And so I'm very glad that you're here. I am recording this webinar. Okay. Everybody on my newsletter list is going to get a recording of this webinar this afternoon because I like sharing. I know everybody had things going on. Some of you are on summer vacation. Like you want to maybe absorb this later. So I am recording it and I will send it out if you have to pop off. But I've got some special stuff going on, so I don't want you to miss it. All right. So first of all, this is a little contest to start us out because this is one of my tips is asking a simple question. Your question that you post on Facebook today, you could post this right now if you want to. You could wait until after this webinar, but I'm going to give a prize away. I don't even have one in here. One of my awesome mugs. Well, I've got a picture on the next one for somebody who asked this question and got some comments. All right. I'm not necessarily going to do the most comments because that's not really fair because some of you have bigger followings, but I'm going to do a drawing tomorrow. If you're brave enough to post this picture on your Facebook page today. So today happens to be Thursday, guys, when I'm doing this live. And so it could totally be a hashtag TBT. Can you name your 5th grade teacher? Can you name your 2nd grade teacher? Some kind of question that's really easy to answer that everybody knows. First of all, I'm watching the chat. Who was your 5th grade teacher? Does everybody know? Start typing it in. I want to see if you're listening. Mrs. Rubel, Mrs. Holden, Camp. Mine was Mrs. Smith. So everybody knows that answer. You guys, we've gotten so many responses to questions like this. So you need to use the background offered by Facebook. Everybody, look up here. Don't make a fancy graphic. Don't have something branded for your school, okay? I want you to use the colored background that Facebook gives you because there's magic in that. You're going to get more responses. So, and if you can't post a question today because you do it at a different time, then you don't have to participate. Okay. So I totally understand that. But this is what I want you to do. Post it today. Then somebody's going to win one of these awesome mugs. They're really cool. Some of you have them that are on here and they're really awesome. Keep your coffee hot all day or your cold beverages like ice will stay in this thing for days at a time. So you're going to take a screenshot tomorrow morning of your post with the number of comments below it. And this post that's on my screen right now is scheduled to post at 6 a.m. Central on my Facebook page. I'm at socialschoolforedu.com or at socialschoolforedu on Facebook. Okay. At 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, this post is going to go up. I want you to comment on that post with a screenshot of how many comments you got. So not just a link to the post, because then, well, you could do that, but I really want a screenshot of that post so I can see how many comments. Okay. Dawn asked, can you use the colored background if you're scheduling the post from your computer? You can. Let me just show you super quick because we're all about learning, you guys, right? So I went into Meta and through Business Suite, Meta Business Suite right here, and you totally can add the color background. It just has to be the Facebook version of it. So hopefully everybody knows how to and Jason, you answered it, but you only sent it to the hosts and panelists. So Jason, re-enter that and just click on that down bar so everybody gets to see it. But okay, so I'm going to go to posts and stories. See, we're already learning. And then I'm going to dive into this quick, you guys. So this is going to be fast. When you go to create a post, let's see how fast my internet is out here in the middle of nowhere. Right here, you don't want to do it right here. You want to do it right here. And here's where you can pick the backgrounds. Okay. So there's right where you can pick whatever color background you want. Okay. Great question, Dawn. So let's see. I'm going to give away a mug. If you don't want to participate, you don't have to, but this is going to be fun. And I love to give away stuff. So this is my mantra, guys. We need to make the positive so loud that the negative becomes almost impossible to hear. Things have been getting better, although some of our schools have still had some challenges, but summer, we don't want to disappear. So this is me. You guys know me. I am literally getting ready to enjoy my summer, getting ready to go catch some rays after this webinar. But I founded Social School for EDU back in 2014. I have been doing social media and actually managing social media for a school, Little New Auburn, since April 15th of 2014. I am in the trenches with you. Okay. Every day I deal with teachers submitting maybe not so great stuff. I deal with comments that are kind of snarky in form. I deal with it all every single day. So does my company. We serve hundreds of schools. You better be listening to my podcast. I got a blog, YouTube, and I've got 6 kids. So that's, what I do in my spare time. Our mission, we celebrate kids, we connect communities, and I hope you're tuning into all our free goodness. Just check it all out at socialschoolforedu.com. You guys, this is a lot of positive PD over the summer months. And my podcast, I think I just interviewed podcast episode number 113 or something. You guys, I have so many podcast episodes to binge listen this summer and get inspiration and ideas. And so that's awesome. And then we have some programs that we serve schools. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about our membership program, guys, because I know many of you wanted to join our membership when it hit July 1st because you had a new fiscal year. So I've got a special invite and a special offer. Don't tune out before you listen to that. Okay, so let's start out with some summer posting plans, just some framework to work through. This is really important, you guys. Listen up. By the way, I'll send out these slides as well with my recordings because I want to provide you all the goodness. We're not posting as frequently as during the school year. Yeah, Andrea, I know that, but we got to feel okay with that because we're not going to post as much because there's not as much going on. However, we do not want to disappear because we've worked a long time all year long of getting our algorithm, showing up in the news feed, getting engagement, getting interaction. And we don't want to disappear because otherwise next fall, we got to build it all over again. But I promise you that I am all about work-life harmony. That's what I term it, work-life harmony. We got a yin and yang. We got to put those things together. So I promise I've got a formula that will make this work for you. Now, summer school and back to school information, registration, back to school nights, all of that, that's obvious. That's going to be plugged in as you go throughout the summer. Some of it you might be able to plan for, like back to school, supply lists and things like that. We don't love to use our social media pages for information, but in times like this, back to school stuff, you do. Okay. So, and I just want to remind everybody, if you've got a question, there's a lot of folks on live, over 100 on live right now. So if you want to ask your question in the Q&A bubble instead of just the chat, that will make sure that by the end of this video, I'm going to answer every question that you guys have. Okay. So I'm not going to get off until I answer every question. So if you have a question of something I said, make sure to use that Q&A option. I'll try to watch the chat as well. Okay. So this is my recommendation. We manage this team at Social School for EDU. We manage social media for 92 school districts right now, okay, across the country. 92, I have a team of 30 stay-at-home moms. Okay, so our goal in the summer is to try to post 3 times a week on Facebook. We're trying to post daily if possible. In my little school district in New Auburn, I really have no problem hitting, Monday through Friday. We don't post on the weekends because everybody deserves a break on the weekends. Okay. But we do post, at least 3 times a week on Facebook. Instagram, post as possible. If you have great photos, you can put those up there. Information, put those out on stories. And then Twitter as possible. You want to keep up with the retweets. Now, some people have asked a question about what about posting times? We've traditionally say post at 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. What about in the summer? Would that change? I think for consistency's sake, I would keep it the same. If you want to play around with it, you certainly can. It's just ingrained in my head that I'm posting at those times too. When I do post more than twice a day, I'm usually posting at lunchtime and then pickup time during the school year, but during the summer, it might not be pickup time. So it might be more relevant to stick to like 11 a.m. time slot. So I hope that makes sense because that question did come up. Now, Sierra, you asked a question. Should your social media account be targeted towards both current students and families and prospective students and families, or just prospective students and families? Sierra, I think both. I think you are trying with your social media presence, you're trying to celebrate what's happening with your school. Attraction and retention are both definite objectives of your social media campaigns, features, all of that. So I think you're going to reach both there. Sierra, I'm not sure if you're a private school or not, but there might be some things where you're trying to attract folks in. Maybe then you're going to do some paid advertising, things like that. That's some of what I get into. I've got a boot camp coming up that would be really helpful possibly for you, or our membership program that really dives more into that, or some of my free resources too. But that's a great question. So hopefully that helps. And then Julie, how do you monitor your site for potentially negative comments, but not spend 24/7 in the monitoring? Julie, this takes an art form a little bit, right? You're going to want to make sure that the things you're posting are going to be positive in nature. If you have a really volatile community, a sensitive subject going on right now, you may have to work on how often you post because you know your community best. But honestly, 97%, I used to say 97% of the comments are positive. And so there's only a handful of times when there's negative things out there, and then we can handle it. You can get notified every time comments come in. You should be periodically checking on your page, but you shouldn't be living there. Okay. So Julie, I hope that really helps. I do have some helpful tools on my website. Guys, I just want to jump over there really quick because this is really helpful to learn. I have put together so much goodness, like my podcasts and my blogs here. Julie, just so you know, you can search any blog topic over here on the right-hand side. When you're on your phone, you got to scroll to the bottom of the blog page and you'll see it there. But I'm just going to type in the word Facebook comments, and this article is going to come up. And this is going to help you a little bit. So there's another article that I have. Don't go looking for a fight. I kind of know what I title things. Oh, shoot. It wasn't exactly that. I can tell you that. Here, don't go looking for a fight. It was totally that. So that could be helpful to, I'm just going to put that up there. It's being careful of what you post. So I hope that also helps. But Julie, that whole topic, that could be a topic of another webinar. So, so you guys, are you feeling good so far? Let me know in the chat if you're feeling good with expectations right now that, hey, oh my gosh, I feel pretty good because Andrea's not telling me to post 3 times a day. Amy's giving me a thumbs up. So I think it's hard to get out of the mode of wanting to celebrate consistently, constantly, getting addicted to seeing some of those reach numbers and all of that. But summer's different and it's okay. All right. So now what I want to show you is my calendar for New Auburn. I just took this screenshot this morning. How would it feel? How would it feel to have your scheduled posts? You can get this view in the Meta Business Suite. looking like this. So already for next week, I have a post on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday's my open day. Next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I've got this scheduled out until I can until like mid-August, because Facebook lets me schedule out until 10 weeks ahead of time. So who, raise your hand, would feel awesome if they, and is 6 a.m. still ideal? Amy, I kind of answered that already. I think it is. I think a lot of parents are still working. So I think I would stick to that, but you can decide. Okay, so I'm just getting rid of these. So I just want to show you what I have scheduled is every Monday, I have a staff feature. Every Tuesday, I do a student feature. Every Wednesday, the week of the 20th is more typical because I already added in some content for the week of the 13th. So this is a teacher feature. This is a student feature. This is my question of the week. This is my Throwback Thursday. And Erica, way to go. You've got stuff scheduled through mid-July. It gives you such peace of mind. Okay. And it's totally cool, Julie, if you do 6:30 a.m. and 7 p.m., like whatever works best for you. Okay. So now I just want to share 7 simple summer content tips for social media. My goal by the end of this is you're going to say, hey, Andrea, I'm going to maybe take 1 or 2 of these, because maybe some of them you're already doing. But so I'm going to want to know at the end, which one of these would work well for you that you could totally work on next week, getting scheduled out so that you can have a good summer too. Okay. So that's my goal. You're not going to do all 7 of these things, you guys, because I don't want you posting 7 times a week. I really want you to aim for 3, because if you have 3, and you just saw that I have 4, if I have 3, I know there's going to be more stuff that comes in. And like Grace, you're still in school, so you're trying to get some more photos. And there's going to be things that happen. And so all of a sudden you're probably going to be posting once a day. Okay. So first of all, just remind you of that Facebook algorithm. Many of you who have followed me for a long time, you know this little math calculation. I've never made anybody do the math calculation, but I talk a lot about Facebook because Facebook's the #1 platform for every school we serve. A like is worth 1 point. So if somebody likes or loves your post, it's fine. It's worth 1 point on this algorithm scale. If somebody takes the time to comment, it's worth 7 points. It's 7 times more powerful when somebody comments versus just liking something. A share, when somebody is like, this is so awesome, I'm going to share it on my channel, that's worth 14 points or more, depending on how many people you're connected with. So we want to really go for those comments and shares with how we write our social media posts. And there's a lot of effort and finesse and skill to that. We teach it all in our free content. We dive into it more in our membership and bootcamp program. But I really want to get us grounded that that's what we want to try to drive towards. Does the comments where they tag another person still count as a comment, Elizabeth? I think so, but the longer comment, the better. So I don't know. I think, it's looking for more interaction than that, but it still does help. Okay. So my #1 idea actually came out of our social buzz call yesterday. Kelly from Findlay City Schools had shared this idea, and I love it. Over the summer, what if you did a weekly feature of a thank you or a did you know? So what she is specifically doing here on the right is a thank you or a did you know, but it's about the scholarships that just went out to all the seniors. She just says, did you know that over $5 million in scholarships were awarded? And then they're thanking these 2 specific people. And just reminds me of my grandma and grandpa for some reason, right? And then look at this, a bunch of likes and loves, 7 comments, 7 shares. And she just shared this a couple days ago. This is a great way to say thank you to those people that support your school. So think about scholarship donors, think about business partners, think about volunteers that come in to help your school. Is there a way over this summer that you could gather a little information and every week post a thank you or, did you know, something that gives your followers something, that's worth reading. The best thing is most of those posts are going to be liked, loved, commented, or shared. The people that you're recognizing, if it's a business, they're going to share it because they're getting painted in a positive light. You're going to get comments. You can tag pages when you do this. If you're tagging a business page, you should tag it. So does everybody understand this one? If you tag the person or business, yes, even better. Right? Like you said, Alexis, even better. So this is something that you could definitely do this summer. It takes a little bit of work, but I think hopefully this provides you some ideas. Okay. And then you could put something like this on your news page and then link it. You can, Hannah. What I would recommend is just make sure the picture is the picture and not the picture linking to your website. I want your link in the post itself, like in the text, but I want the picture to be a picture because Facebook wants you to stay on Facebook. And so when you're linking to an external spot, you may not get as much reach. So yeah, you do picture grabs, picture screenshots. I love it. Okay. So that's my number one idea. Number two is user generated content. Somebody already shared this in the chat. This is from Erica Chandler. She is out of Missouri, Afton School District. She's awesome. She's also part of my membership group. You guys, my next podcast that's coming out Monday, Erica's sharing all about this program. My blog next Tuesday, all about this program. So you're going to have some more tools in your tool belt to help you with this. But she has been doing for 4 or 5 years, she's been doing Afton around the world. She's kind of specifically asking how far will you go as you head up for vacations, staycations, day trips. So, and then she's asking for those pictures to be emailed into her at the communications@aftonschools.net. Okay. She even got herself a little logo type thing for this feature. Now, you could do where you're traveling. You could do what you're reading or where you're reading. I just kind of thought of this. What about first time summer? Like, what have you tried this summer for the first time? I love to encourage that, right? Because we're trying new things. All of our students and our staff are growing in different ways over the summer. Don't make it too tricky. You want it to be easy for them to be able to submit to you and go from there. So this was kind of a, hey, this announced the program. Then on this next page, she's got a couple of examples where she's telling who those students are. She does not use last names. Okay. She just uses a first initial, although sometimes people end up getting tagged and that's fine. I wouldn't worry about that. But this is the important thing. She is tying in what grade they're going to be in, maybe next year. Okay. She's also tying in at the end of every feature, how you submit your, new things to you. So why don't you make sure that you do that? Because then you're going to get more content because everybody's like, well, we're doing cool things. So you got to include that. Does anybody have any questions? Esmeralda, you got some questions about Facebook page. You can handle that. You can reach out to me separately for that. Elizabeth, would it be better point wise to have people post their own pics or have them email them in for us to post? So Elizabeth, you could ask them to post them down below. I would not suggest having them tag you because if they tag you, their security settings on their pages may not be set up for public. So you might not be able to see them. You have to make sure that you enable people to post their pictures. But the big thing, Elizabeth, is we're going to use those pictures for a new post. So you may not want them all underneath an original post because you want them sent in via email so it can be special, right? So, you can try it either way, Elizabeth. If you want to take your own spin on this and do it, fine. I'm just telling you how this school does it. Okay. Question or tip number 3. So we had a thank you or, honoring people that are helping partner with the schools. We had like a contest and no, we call that user generated content because that's coming from your users or your fans. Number 3 is a question of the week. So I saw some of you are already doing this. Who does this now? Does a question of the week? And have you gotten positive responses? This example from Watertown last June, got over 1,300 comments. You guys, we do not get that many comments on this page. This one reached over 22,000 people and got 1,300 comments. Julie, you do, and you love it. You have it set up for the summer. So that's awesome. So I have a blog that's on this, and I also have this little sheet that has 52 questions to pick from. You don't need that many. I only do this over summer because I have enough content otherwise. The easier questions, the better. So who was your first grade teacher? You know, who was your driver's ed teacher? You get into what volunteer opportunities have you been involved in at school? You're going to get less response. Okay. Just telling you. But this is a simple one. It's very easy to schedule out ahead of time. So another idea that's so easy. Again, use the colored background. Do not make a Canva graphic. I repeat, do not make a Canva graphic. You do the same question with a Canva graphic. I can guarantee you, you will not get as many responses. Okay. Let me just share with you this link right now. Here it is. These slides are linked to, and you're going to get these this afternoon. Okay. So that's good. We've done this before and gotten comments about, okay, security questions. Thank you so much, Lauren, for bringing that question up. So some people do comment and say, hey, this is a security question. We kind of have a generic, hey, if you don't feel comfortable answering this because of security concerns, please don't ever put anything on the internet that you don't want others to know. But that could come up in your district. Emily, Canva gets less engagement because Facebook is reading the text of this post. It doesn't read the text of the Canva graphics. So there's magic here. Okay. So you need to do that. All right. Sierra, suggestions on increase your following. Making sure that anybody who likes your posts, you invite them to like your page. That's my biggest thing. You can pay to get more reach, but that doesn't mean you'll get more followers. Invite the people that have already interacted with your page. It's so easy. You click on it, you get a little button that lets you invite them. Okay, look at this, you guys, 508 comments. This was when I was at TSPRA. And I think Tanisha shared that with me. And then she even got a shout out from her superintendent that said, look at us just killing it. So that was really fun. And then Jana had shared, she's at Final Site now, but when she was still at her school, 483 comments with a reach of 7,000 blows my mind. So please, if you've never tried this, please try it. Throwback Thursdays. Who's doing Throwback Thursdays? Give me a hashtag TBT in the chat if you are doing Throwback Thursdays. If you have never tried it, now's the time. All this summer, I want you to try this. This is pictures from your old yearbooks. Great engagement. Perfect way to gauge in alumni. We have some tools, and if you just type in hashtag TBT in my blog, you're going to get a lot of resources. So that would be really, really great. I'm not sure, Patricia, you asked question of the week, so I'm not sure what that is, but Throwback Thursday on Thursdays, but not terribly consistent. Get consistent this summer and keep that for 6 months and then see what happens. Okay. And so that's really critical. If you're a new school, Donna, you don't really have Throwback Thursdays. You could do throwbacks just to a year ago or 2 years ago when you started. So that's one thing, but your Throwback Thursdays may be your question of the week, like a hashtag TBT, who was your 5th grade teacher? It's throwing it back to the past, right? How far back? As far as you want to. These do really well, 60s, 70s, 80s, but we've gone back to the 1910s. So, do that. And then Grace, keep it generic, maybe not asking what year it was, because yes, people can get, some people can get very defensive. And because it's like the 1996 yearbook, but was 1995 homecoming for that year, it just gets complicated, right? So, another idea is videos from staff. This takes a little more time, but what we want to do is keep the faces and the voices and that engagement with our community over the summer. So what I'm thinking here is a less than a 60-second video from different staff members at different campuses at different levels. Maybe if you've got anybody that's going to be a new into the leadership role, you'd obviously want them to do something, but they could be in selfie mode and they could send you a video. If you do a couple of these, 2 or 3 of these to start with, then you're going to get more, because you're going to be able to show the other teachers examples of what you're looking for. So that's going to be simple. So start with the people that you know would do this. You've got staff members that you know would be willing to do this. And I love Joe's videos too. So, but Dana, if it doesn't work because you beg them to do it, that's fine too. Maybe this one isn't for you. But I think of even little videos of showing like kids that are going into middle school how to do their combination lock. Just a little video about that, or a video showing them around the school. Just short videos, but anyways, it can be really helpful. You can batch them, meaning get a bunch of them, and then you can schedule them out each week so that you've got a video of the week. So that is awesome. And James had said we do a Fresh Face Friday, where you interview new members of the faculty, and then through July and August, you're still getting folks in and can do that. That's an awesome idea, James. I love it. That's why we hang out together. We get Fresh Face Fridays. Okay. This is happening at your school. There's capital projects, there's maintenance teams, there's shining, there's cleaning, there's redoing, there's grass being cut, there's all of the things. There are people that work all year round. Just sprinkle in those updates as well. So if you've got some major things happening, capital projects, things like that. I love that little guy, Cole. He's in my daughter's class. He's the best guy in the world. So he works in the summer for the school. And so we shared that. So make sure that you're also showcasing what's happening at the school when not as many people are at the school. So that's my 6th idea. My 7th idea is new staff. So just like James had just said about the Fresh Face Friday with video, you can do just a graphic post with a little information about that new staff member. Okay, I do not want you to just do when all the new staff come in and you've got a big picture of 20 people or 10 people or 5 people that are all new and post just that. Why? Because every time you do a post like this, you get new followers. You get to hit that invite button because people know who is this gal? Her name's Tori. They know Tori, or they love that dog, right? So you're getting new interaction. Look at all those comments, 35 comments. You are making that new staff member feel the love. You are letting the parents get introduced to who these faces are and the other staff members, right, that already work there. So Hannah, we this is a suggestion for new staff. You should be doing all of your staff all year long. I do a weekly feature of a staff member all week long, but in the summer, I'm particular telling you, do the new staff. And then you should do all staff, I believe. So paras, bus drivers, if you've got new faces. Now, I know some of you have really big districts. So if you're telling me, hey, Andrea, I can't do a single post because I got 100 new people, I totally get it. Like this may not work for you. School district my size, we got 35 people on staff. So, if we got 4 new faces, I can definitely do this. So this is helpful. If you can get a form out to these new faces ahead of the in-service time, great. If you can't, you can wait. This one posted August 9th. So we did get this picture before the in-service time started. Okay, Dana. So that's a great question. By the way, this beautiful template is created by our team, but it's available in our membership group. We have awesome a Canva directory for our membership group, which I'm going to give you an invite into in just a minute, but that is there for you. Okay, Sierra, we kind of answered a little bit of your increasing following. Question on staff features. What information do you put in the caption? Okay, so Lisa, it's up to you. You can look at this, who you are, where you're from, hobbies, fun facts. I really love why are you excited to work at this school? That question. Now, Lisa, you could also just do hey, welcome to Tori. she's going to be teaching special education this year. Help us give her a warm hashtag or Dr. Strong welcome. It could be no special information, or it could be a bunch of information. So you're going to get these links to what was included here, Lisa. You can just work backwards. Actually, just in the membership group, Jamie Brace from Oklahoma shared her detailed form of what she gets from her staff members. So members that are on here, you got that to refer back to as well. So this is cool. How about staff that's been here for a bit, Lisa? That's where I think you should be doing regular staff features. And that should be something you should definitely incorporate for your 22-23 school year. Okay. Okay, just a quick bonus tip. Stephanie throws in a fun question like go-to karaoke song. Okay, my go-to karaoke song. Do you guys know that I wanted to be a singer when I was little? So my go-to karaoke song is Sweet Caroline. You get the whole bar. Well, that's where you do it, right? At the bar. You get the whole bar singing. So Dana, that questionnaire that I'm referring to is inside our membership group. So we share a lot of resources in there. I'm not sharing that with all of you, although you're going to have reference and use to all of this. My bonus tip is just learn Instagram Reels. You guys, I've got free resources out there. I've got detailed training that happens in my membership group because some of you were part of the Instagram challenge and you saw the reach of this. Look at this, Allentown. I'm actually speaking with them at the NSPRA conference next month in Chicago. Their little graduation one reached over 60,000 people. So I really just want to encourage you. Instagram Reels is not hard and it's very engaging. And the best thing about Instagram Reels, listen to me, you guys, the best thing about Instagram and Instagram Reels is your students will see it. They'll get excited about it. And then you're going to get some more attention from them and help from them on creating more content. And that makes your job easier. So Instagram Reels is my bonus tip. Okay. Which items are you going to use? Okay. I shared 7 right now. I want to know in the chat bar, which one are you planning to use or a couple of them? And do you have any other questions? Ask them in the Q&A spot. If you have specific questions that you still want answered, I need you to put them in the Q&A spot. And then in the chat bar, I want to know, what are you going to use? Somebody, maybe all of them, Bridget, but definitely user-generated content, user-generated new staffs. Okay, so awesome. So keep sharing there. Okay, you guys all are following my free support, socialschoolforedu.com. I get up every morning to help you. And I do a lot of it for free. I've got my newsletter, my blog, my podcast, my video tips. Okay. I've got my podcast. You guys, I hope that you are listening to my podcast because it's awesome. And why is it awesome? Because you guys are all awesome and I get to interview you. By the way, if any of you want to be on my podcast, email me, Andrea@socialschoolforedu.com. If you have something that you want to share from your school or district, something special that you're doing that's working, I want to talk to you. Okay. Now, I do all that for free, but I have this special community that I've brought together. It's called my membership program. And I've asked Jason to come on. I'm going to bring him on in just 1 minute. And so Jason, you can unmute yourself and show your beautiful face. But Taylin had shared, she followed all my stuff when she got started, but when she joined the membership program, she found so much more, which was that group of people who are just willing to share their knowledge. And I wanted to bring on Jason, who is with the Troy City School District. He's going to share a little bit, but I just want to first say, okay, you can join for 12 months, $795, up to 3 people from your school or district can join. I don't always offer this, but if you sign up by June 30th, if you want to just try it for 6 months, which you're going to love it, which Jason will tell you, you can try it for $395. I don't always have that option open. Usually you have to sign up for a year. So you're going to pay after July 1st, but you're going to get to jump in right now. And so with that, I'm going to stop share so you can be a little bit bigger, Jason. But if you can just introduce yourself, kind of share your background and what you've gotten out of the membership group.
Sure. So I joined the membership group after Andrea's amazing Instagram challenge that she did back in April. I jumped on that and honestly had a blast. I had more fun doing the Instagram challenge than I've had doing social media in a really, really long time. Huge benefit. It really bumped my Instagram engagement and reach, and my analytics looked great from April. And I've tried to continue that so they keep looking good. But that was what really got me interested in getting into Andrea's membership group. So, and I'm really, really glad that I did. It's only been a couple of weeks now, but the Facebook group is fantastic. Anytime there's a question or hey, what is anyone doing for this? Or I know I've heard this in one of Andrea's webinars, where is it? Is what I just posted this morning about some Instagram Lightroom filters. People are so willing to just share what they're doing and what they've learned and how they're doing things. It's an amazing resource. I think I've already gotten the year's worth of information out of this group, and it's been maybe a month or so that I've been doing this. It's been fantastic. I mean, I never would have thought to rewrite my Instagram bio for my district. And I think that was one of the first things that I did in the Instagram challenge. So I'm really looking forward to getting through summer and then getting into next year and taking a lot of this that we've done so far, and all the other stuff that's going to come out, really being able to step up my game on social media. The one, and I'm not even going to call it a negative, it makes it harder to remember that there is more to my job than just social media. I started in this district in December, but I've been in school communications for almost 8 years now. And fun fact, I'm actually working in the school district that I graduated from. So I'm super excited about that. But it's definitely been more of a challenge now to say, I can't just sit here and think about my next Instagram reel. There's all this other stuff that I also have to do. But I think that's a good problem to have, because I just want to keep pushing out all of this great content. And if you're on the fence, join the group, especially now that Andrea is offering for 6 months. If you want to just give it a shot, if you're not sure you want to spend the money for the whole year, you're not sure you have the time to commit, try it. It will absolutely be worth it for you. I couldn't be happier that I've done this. And I'm looking forward to getting back to NSPRT in Chicago in July and getting to meet Andrea in person. So that is, I couldn't say enough good things about joining the membership group. So if you're on the fence, if you're not on the fence, if you're not even considering it, consider it, get on the fence, and then jump over to the other side, because I think it's absolutely worth it.
Thank you so much, Jason. And I would consider you pretty advanced. Like, you've been in school communications for 8 years. We've got people all kind of learning levels within the group. But you feel like it's been really helpful for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I've been in school communications for so long, but there's always new stuff with social media. Improving your district's social media presence is all about trying new things and stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something that you haven't done before, because social media is constantly changing. The best way to stay up on that is to be part of a group where you talk about social media and things that are changing. I never would have touched Instagram Reels if it wasn't for the Instagram challenge. I would never have just done a text question post with Facebook's text background. I'm doing my first one is going to publish tonight. Never would have done that. Just those couple things alone that are going to boost our engagement is more than worth it. And over the next months, years, however long, we're doing this for, it's going to keep changing. And being involved and being part of a group where you talk about social media is immensely valuable.
Yeah, I'm learning all the time. And by the way, guys, I don't have all the answers, but we have hundreds of people in this group that together we do have the answers. So that's really cool. One last question for you, Jason. People know budgets are tight. Now, this is going to be in the new fiscal year, so that should hopefully help. But how did you go about asking for funds for this from your superintendent or your boss?
Honestly, I didn't. When I started here, I was informed that I have a budget to spend, which is new for me. So I just decided I wanted to sign up for it and got the invoice and the W-9 from Andrea and sent it to the business office. And I guess it's on its way there. But honestly, my district is all about professional development. There's a very, very high priority to make sure that staff is getting professional development that is valuable. That's something that is very important to my administration. So if I had to go and say, hey, this is what I want to do, I don't think it would have been a problem. Not after the positive that I could show after the Instagram challenge, that this is what it did to our engagement after a week. And it's full of this information that we can use forever. So what's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to say no. And if they say yes, you're getting a lot more than you're paying for with this.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And I hope you keep up the great work. Now, Jason referred several times to our challenge. So we've done 3 free challenges over the past year and a half. 2 of them were on Facebook, and this last one was on Instagram. Every time that we do those challenges, they are absolutely amazing. I always am like putting things out there, Jason, and I'm like, oh gosh, I hope this works, right? Well, yeah. I just want to tell everybody that there is a change coming up because there's a lot of effort, and I do prizes and all of this stuff. So those challenges are still being planned, but starting this fall, only members get to participate. So that $395 is going to get you that fall challenge for sure. So I would really encourage you, now is the time to ask, because those challenges, again, they're going to be happening. It's really, you could take like a year to improve your social media. What those challenges do is it condenses you. It's a game, right? It's a challenge. You're competing kind of, and all of a sudden you drive like such big, improvement in such a short amount of time, that it's really fun. And so I don't want you to miss out on that, but it is only going to be for members. So, but you're in, Jason, so you're good.
Yeah, and I think the other things that you can use, obviously I didn't have this conversation, but you certainly could use this. I know most educators are all about data and showing what is improving and how can you show that it's improving. You do this 6 months if you don't really have the budget, or your administrators are on the fence for it. Keep track of your analytics, track it and show it to your superintendent. Most superintendents, I think, love data. And if you can say, look, we improved this, and Andrea, I think you've said it, more reach means you bring students into your district, whether it's charter schools, homeschool kids coming back, or families moving into your district by what you're putting on social media, attracting them in, that brings money into the district. And I think it was when you were trying to get us into the membership group during the Instagram challenge, I think you pointed out that for a lot of districts, one kid coming back more than pays for this program. And I think that's easy to reach, based on everything that I've seen so far in the membership group.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have any questions on the membership, I'll have Jason hang on. Dana just asked a question. Are most members in districts, or do you have independent school marketers too? Dana, we have everybody. We have charter schools, private schools. We've got tech centers. I can say probably majority are public school districts, Dana, but we even have like a special session just for private schools to get together each month. So we have all kinds, and a lot of what we're talking about matters to all schools, right? Because we're celebrating students. So great question. If you have any other questions, I just want to share real quick hang on, upcoming events, because we're doing events all summer, but we record them all. So next week's fundraising strategies that work. The following week is Facebook groups for school communities. The next week, we're actually setting out a calendar and we're planning for success for next school year. We're going to get ahead, right? Then in July, at the beginning, we're doing a webinar with a national group. The CISO Communications is coming on and sharing the fires are burning and the waves are high. Many of you have some really interesting school board meetings and some of those really crazy headline news things happening in your school districts. They're going to give you some advice. Then we're going to have a checklist for getting staff involved in social media. And then our social buzz, our next one's actually going to be on what apps do you use, what tools make your job easier. So again, it's all geared towards you, the school communicator, and everything we do is recorded. You can access it at any time, and you have full access to everything I've ever done, including that Instagram challenge that Jason's having, that's Jason's references. If you miss that challenge, you get full access to the whole thing. You're going to have to pretend that it's live, I guess. That's the only bad thing probably, but all of the recording, the training, everything's there for you. So again, you're not going to pay right now. You're going to pay in July, but you got to sign up by June 30th to get the option to join for $395. That's going to disappear on June 30th. You head on over to socialschoolforedu.com. You guys can head over there, and right now, if you want this sign up now button, that's how you sign up, or this get access, that's how you sign up. It's just a Google form, and you're going to sign up, and then you're going to be able to tell me that you're interested in either the $795 or the $395. This is a little sheet that you could give to your supervisor, superintendent. You know, I think Cassie really says it well, and Jason said it so well as well, but to be in a community where people understand you and that you can share like, this is awesome and this sucks, and you got people that understand. And believe me, social media means that you fail. I fail all the time. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I got to delete that because, you know, we're learning. It's a learning process, and we're all in it together. So, any final thoughts, Jason, before I click it back to answering some more questions that people have?
No, I don't think so. I think we hit everything.
Okay, awesome. So you guys, again, if you have Q&A, let me know. Lisa, I have this or that scheduled for this summer. Would you also do a question of the week? That's a great question, Lisa. This or that is kind of like a question of the week, so I probably wouldn't do a question of the week as well. I just want to point out that those questions that you can ask, you can also ask those on Instagram stories to get some interaction from your students and your followers there. So there are ways to do polls. So great question there. Patricia asked, where do we send your screenshot? Okay, so Patricia, remember, oh, hang on. I'm going to share my screen again. So my Facebook page is Social School for EDU. So if you go to facebook.com/social school for EDU, that is my page. I'll link it in the email that I end up sending out to, just to the page itself, but the post is going up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. If you want a chance to win that awesome mug, which by the way, we have contests every month in our membership group, and we give away those mugs and we give away t-shirts. But it's going to show up right on this page. Okay. So that's where you're going to post your responses, like a screenshot to your question. Okay. And then Amy, you said that Facebook likes to read the text. Does that mean you don't recommend just posting a Canva picture with no words? Even if we post a picture with all information, should we try to caption it with post words? So what I'm saying is that when you ask a question that you just want people to respond to, like describe life as a school social media manager, wrong answers only. I mean, you don't use a Canva, and there's no way to use this background with text. Because if you go, if you type too much, it changes over to text just like this. So you're never going to use both at the same time. But you're only going to use this. So that's what I'm saying. I hope that helps, Amy, answer your question. Erica, you just did the Throwback Thursday challenge asking about who your first grade teacher is. Someone just commented with this. Okay, this is often someone's security question and susceptible to being used to access individuals' financial accounts. I would remove the post to discourage people from sharing their personal security data. Your community, if you, Erica, are not comfortable with asking and saying, hey, we are trying to do some fun posts to engage our community. If this is one of your security questions that you use on sites, we would recommend that you do not answer this. So, that's kind of my thing. You might want to hide that comment just so everybody doesn't see it, but you could still respond to it. But if you repeatedly get that response, then maybe that's not something that you want to use. I did just share yesterday on my Facebook page for New Auburn, one that was like, share your school colors, or maybe, asking them a different question. This is the question I asked, what were your school colors? Use emojis. So I had a bunch of people that used emoji colors for their school colors. So that could be one. So you might want to alter, but I mean, there's always going to be one negative Nelly, right? You do have to be careful of that. So that helps. What are some school districts that you recommend to follow to get great ideas? Such a great question. So we have a lot of our schools that are in our social media group that are doing great things. Claremore Public Schools happens to be one of them. And that is my dear friend, Jamie Brace, who has been part of a lot of the things that we've done here at Social School for EDU for a lot of years. And so she's doing some really cool things. I just shared that Findlay City Schools. And so you could check that out. And then what I would recommend is just follow my Facebook page, follow me on Twitter. I'm sharing a lot of information, but Yvonne, you're right. You're going to get great ideas from following other schools and getting great ideas from them. So that's good. Any other questions, guys? I don't want to keep you here any longer than I need to, because this has been awesome. I still got 73 of you hanging on. Is there anything that you need to ask? Again, ask it in the Q&A bar. I'm watching that. If this has been helpful, let me know that in the comments. Just let me know that you're going to be utilizing this. I will be emailing out this recording. I'll email out those slides. Okay. And that'll come to you this afternoon. Stay connected, keep up the great work. Don't get stressed out. Okay. We're definitely here to help inspire, but not to overwhelm. And I know sometimes I've got a lot of experience. You probably took a bunch of notes. Even if you can implement one thing, one of these ideas, it's going to make you that much better, that much more engagement. And when you have good engagement, your students win, your staff wins, right? You're creating that great engagement. And that's what we're all about. So thank you. I don't see any other questions. So you guys have an awesome, awesome summer. I'll be in Oklahoma this weekend. I'm keynoting GabCon on Sunday night. I'm not sure if you can still join gabconevents.com. And then I will be at the NSPRA seminar in Chicago. I think there's going to be, Jason, there's going to be 40 of the members there. It's going to be awesome. And we got a really special treat for you. We're buying you lunch on Monday morning or Monday for lunch. But we're also giving you some free stuff. So that's what we love to do. Thank you guys so much. Have a great summer. Email at me if you have additional questions, especially on that membership. The $395 special is only open until June 30th. You have to sign up before then. You can join anytime, but I'm telling you, the sooner the better. There's a lot of great stuff going on. You can advance your skills, advance your metrics for your school, really set yourself up for success. One final thing, boot camp. We only have 6 spots left in social media boot camp for July. So if you were looking at that program, there's only 6 spots left. So get signed up now or they're going to be gone. Our next one won't be until November. So if you want boot camp, which is really the foundational pieces, it's a small group format. It's awesome. Check it out on the website. We'll see you guys soon. Love ya. Bye-bye.